Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu, pakhair agale, ni hao, chune shumme, washmale, ohaya gozaimas, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, and a very amazing khush amadi to everybody who's tuned into PT1 and are watching well this morning, alongside the very pretty, the very beautiful Mariam Shahzad and Shahzad Khan. Hello, Mariam. How are you today?
Hello, Shahzad. A very good morning and Jummah Mubarak to everyone watching. I hope you guys are doing very well and you're ready to start your day with me and Shahzad. The weather is very dry nowadays, but I'm loving the warmth in the afternoon. So it's quite okay for us to go out in the park and I just have fun with the family.
Well, I think the only thing which attracts me in winters, Mariam, as you definitely know that, but for all those people who are out there, whether they're interested in it or not, but I think I'm going to say it, and that is having oranges and being on your rooftop and when it's a sunny day in winters. I think that's the best thing which I wanted to do. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. So we've got top stories coming up. Let's take a look around the globe. What's happening? Good morning. Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi has chaired meeting on a trade policy. During the meeting, Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi's Secretary Trade briefed on proposed trade policy and framework. And I think these trade policies are actually going to be very beneficial for the Pakistani economy.
State Minister for Information, Mariam Aurangzeb, has urged the corporate sector to focus on technical training of youth.
Which I think is very pivotal as well. If you're going to have skilled people, who actually know the technicalities, I think that's where we need to head right now, because we have finally moved on from being a very agricultural kind of economic system to technical and technological based advancements. Now talking about one of the very rarest species of tigers known as the Manchurian tiger, quintuplets will greet undoubtedly eager visitors during the coming Spring Festival in February, according to zookeepers at the Longsha Zoological and Botanical Gardens in Qiqihar City in northeast China's Heilongjiang province. Wow, that'll be a wonderful sight.
Autonomous vehicles expected to become commercial reality in 2018. In this regard, not only the speakers but automakers are likewise optimistic about the expectations as well.
I'm just in love with these cars as well. Lesser fuel consumption and long mileage. Last but not the least, Pakistan's batting is underway against New Zealand in chasing target of 272 in the fifth and final one-day international series at Wellington. Best of luck, green teas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these were a few top stories which we wanted to talk about. So we can definitely be sure of the fact that you now know what's happening all around the globe. But as a matter of fact, time now to move on towards our public service message. And Mariam's going to do the honors.
We both will.
Okay, we both will? All right, we will.
So the public message today would be communication. How should we communicate with one another? So the basic thing is nowadays we're not communicating because of a device called a mobile, which has taken away the essence of a relationship. A lot of people are addicted to their mobiles. My husband is crying over here.
I think that's what communication is right now, no?
Yes, that is, that you are sure. What we need to do is we need to sit down, we need to talk it out. We shouldn't be hooked to our mobiles nowadays because mobiles are so addictive that everybody is like swiping through their Facebook, taking selfies, putting them on Instagram. So, you know, we have lost that essence of sitting down with someone. Like if I'm sitting down with my husband, he'll be texting me, oh, Mariam, can you bring a cup of tea? And I'll be like, texting him back, yes. Instead of talking, we'll be like texting. So we need to communicate. We should sit down with our families. I'm kidding, Shahzad.
It's perfectly all right. But, you know, as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, mobile phone is actually a symbol of communication too. Now, for example, if we go back in time, you know, you're very right that we need to sit down, we need to talk, we are social animals. But as a matter of fact, you know, when you need to do your husband and wife talk and you're sitting amongst your family members, I think cell phone is the best savior as well. So, you know, you can text, okay, can you come upstairs for a while?
No,
You know, I need to talk to you, all of these things. So I think mobile is a lifesaver.
No, I think if you're sitting with your family and sitting down, I think it's bad manners to use mobile. When someone is talking to you and you're constantly going through your mobile, I think it's bad manners. So I think you should sit down with your family, communicate your problems. A lot of misunderstandings. So there is a lot of misunderstandings going on between some families because of this lack of communication.
So, okay, so you were earlier asking me about new iPhone, so I think what I'm going to do is that I'm not going to consider that offer too as well. And you're not going to get any newer phones, and in fact, I think I'm going to keep your phone too as well. So I'm switching it off, you know, Mariam's not going to live with the cell phone now. But, you know, the public service message was very apt and was very correct, and this is what we need to do. But ladies and gentlemen, since the time that we have been growing up, since the time that, you know, we have evolved alongside technology, there are, you know, few systems which we cannot change. For example, you know, the home remedies. Now, for example, if I have flu, my mother's actually going to come up with an idea. Why don't you have, you know, tea with lemon or something of that sort, and it will help flu. But I think up to some extent these formulas do work, but if it gets worse, you obviously have to go to the doctor. So what we have done is we've actually found out a few home remedies with which you can certainly get better if you're suffering from flu. So let's go ahead, let's listen to all of these remedies, and when you guys are going to come back, we're going to flu it away with some music and with some movie critics. Let's do it.
Get sick. I am not a doctor, so please see a doctor if you think you need one. Ginger honey tea is a great way to boost your immune system. The ginger and the honey combination is amazing. Honey acts as a natural antibiotic, and the ginger helps with pain and inflammation, which is great. The lemon is also loaded with vitamin C, which can help boost your immune system. So this is a great cocktail to kill a cold and flu. So I used about 1 cup of ginger root, but you can use less if you can't handle the taste as much. And I peeled the skin off, and then I cut it into little cubes like this. Once you've cut it into cubes, you'll want to set it aside and grab some lemons. I used about 2 lemons in this recipe, but you can use more if you'd like. Then you want to take about 1/2 cup to 1 cup of honey, depending on your desired taste, and add it to about 4 or 5 cups of water. And just put it all in the pot together. You can add the honey afterwards if you'd like, but I like to add it in while it's boiling. Then bring it to a boil and let it boil for about 20-25 minutes, and then you're ready to pour it into your cup. It'll make a whole pot, so that's enough for everybody in the family, or you'll have lots left over throughout the day. Natural cough syrup. This is just one of my recipes, but this is the one that I am going to make today. So this one is super simple. It only has a few ingredients. The first ingredient is an organic lemon, or lemons, you'll need multiple, raw organic honey, cold pressed organic coconut oil, and optionally cayenne pepper. So 1.5 cups of honey, raw organic honey, 1/2 cup of coconut oil, and then you'll want to strain out any seeds. So however you want to do this, I used this to strain out any seeds. And just squeeze them in. I used about 3 to 4 lemons. And you'll notice it won't combine very well. So you'll need to place it on the stove on low-medium heat. And you're not trying to boil it, you're just trying to combine the ingredients. And you'll notice the consistency will change. And it will be combined, that's all you're trying to do. And then pour it into your jar and it's ready for use. You can add your cayenne pepper at this point, by the way, but I'm leaving it out for the kids. And then you're done. Peppermint tea. Now this is kind of a natural remedy because it's natural, but peppermint tea is amazing to help with reducing fever, nausea, coughs. It has many other benefits, but it's just a really simple, easy way to help relieve some of those cold and flu symptoms. So I thought I'd add it in for you guys. Oregano Immune Booster. Oil of oregano is known to be antibacterial, antiseptic, antiviral, immune stimulating. It's high in omega-3s, iron, and antioxidants, which makes it a great super setup to kill those cold and flu symptoms. It'll give you instructions on the back of your bottle, but this one says 3 to 5 drops, 3 to 4 times daily. Garlic honey on a spoon. This is more of a quick tip than anything, but it's just crushing up 1/2 clove of garlic, putting it on a tablespoon, adding some raw organic honey, and then taking it just like that. It will help boost your immune system. Do it once or twice a day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, these were a few home remedies, and if you think that they might work, so you can definitely check them out too as well. But Other than that, I think my piece of advice will be to go to the doctor and get yourself checked up, because half of the times there are different infections. So what we do is that we just label them with flu, and we need to get our blood tested as well for all of those infections and whether all of these things will work for us or not. So please make sure that you stay safe and healthy. We just want you guys to be happy. So now today, what we're going to do is that we obviously are going to sing quite a lot of songs. But other than that, we've got a legend sitting over here in the studios who's a movie. Well, he's not really a movie critique, but he's a heartthrob of the industry. Wherever he goes, everybody loves him because of the fact that he's a lovable and a very charming guy too as well. But as a matter of fact, well, this morning, other than this legend, well, this morning has been a platform where we have been sharing talent, raw talent with you guys too as well, who need promotion, who need support. So please make sure that, you know, when we share such talent with you guys, you come up with support and prayers as well so that they can do big, whatever they want to do. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, looks like, you know, he's smiling. So on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, a singer in the making, and he's actually studying at Roots International University. He's a singer. He's none other than Mr. Abdullah Amjad. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you, Abdullah?
Walaikum salam, I'm good. How are you?
Thank you very much for joining us. It is lovely to have you over here. And we'll definitely get started in a while, but let me do the introduction of the legend. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to unleash the legend right in front of you guys. Well, I think he's been serving this National Institute for more than 2 decades now, if I'm not wrong. And he's a film critique, and I think he's been the pillar for all of those newer people who actually came into this institution as well. He's always been guiding, he's always there for everybody, from films to music, to drama, to infotainment, to current affairs, to everything. He's got a good command on it, and he does not need any introduction, but I think I need to do that. He's none other than Mr. Umar Khalid Bhatt. Hello, Barsawar.
Hello, Shadab Khan. How are you?
Absolutely
Shadab Khan.
perfect.
How does it feel being with your wife here?
Absolutely perfect. Absolutely
How many
perfect.
languages do you speak in the beginning when you say you're
Well,
welcome?
I
and good
think it's
morning?
roughly 11 or 12, but it's
All right.
perfectly all right.
How much time did it take you to learn all of that?
Well, I think you are here for an interview, or I am here.
No, I
love it.
But it's something that we decided. But as a matter of fact, you know, since the very first time when I joined radio back in 2008 and 2009, that's when I started doing it. But
Alright.
initially, I only had like 4 or 5 hellos, and then it grew longer. And then it, you know, when Maha was here, so she was like, you know, can you please shorten it up because I want to say quite a lot of things. And now since my wife is here, so the advantage
Speaking
is
to the
all
wife,
with me.
this is
Yes.
something very interesting that I wanted to ask you always. Since you've joined the show, it's a very different equation that you share with your husband
Yes.
on this platform and at your
At
home.
home, yeah.
How is he as a husband and how is he as a co-anchor?
As a husband, he is very understanding. He lets me talk. And as an anchor, he makes sure that I don't talk.
Really?
All right, but let's get started. So, Abdullah,
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So, when did you actually decided in your life that you were going to be a singer and a musician?
In 2008, I was actually attracted to the guitar.
Alright.
I wasn't into singing that much, but I started to play guitar in 2008.
And then?
And then as the time passed, I decided that I had to sing
Okay,
too.
so you actually haven't released any of your singles so far, right?
No.
So what you do is that you sing covers.
Yeah,
And
I just
think
sing
that's
covers,
a good
that's all.
start as well. But as a matter of fact, over here in Pakistan, quite a lot of parents, you know, for somebody who's actually studying very well, is in a university, do not support music or such
Yeah.
extracurricular activities
Exactly.
too as well. So how was it for you?
What was that for me?
I mean, did
My
your parents actually
yeah,
tell you?
yeah. My mother is into
Is she
that much.
supportive? That's what
No,
he's
she's not really supportive. My father is supportive.
All right.
So is
Yeah,
this like
that's
a
why.
hobby for you, or is it your
It's just
passion?
a hobby, yeah.
So you're just doing covers, or have you actually
Yeah, I'm just
planned on
doing
taking
covers.
out your own album?
I have a plan for that,
Right.
but right now I'm just doing covers.
So you do small concerts and small
Yeah.
gigs in
Yeah,
school and
gigs.
outside also?
Yeah, outside also.
Okay, that's great. So can we have a teaser of what you're capable of?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Sure. तू हर घड़ी जो भी गम है ये तेरे उन्हें तू मेरा बना दे जो भी गम है ये तेरे उन्हें तू मेरा बना दे कुछ इस तरह तेरी पलकें मेरी पलकों से मिला दे आंसू तेरे सारे मेरी पलकों पे सजा दे मुझको तो तेरे चेहरे पे ये गम नहीं जजता जायज़ नहीं लगता मुझे गम से तेरा रिश्ता सुन मेरी गुजारिश इसे चेहरे से हटा दे सुन मेरी गुजारिश इसे चेहरे से हटा दे
Wow,
Wonderful,
man.
that was true.
Early in the morning, it was a good start as well. But sir, what about you? What kind of music do you like?
It depends on the mood I'm in. Basically, I was brought in because of my mother's influence with a lot of jazz, a lot of gospel, a lot of blues. From my father's side, a lot of classical music. We used to have Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan in the house.
Wow.
Farida Khanam used to come and play at our house as well. So I've been brought up in a very mixed environment of music, and I think it's very healthy music as not only as a hobby but also as something that you can continue to listen to continue to be inspired from throughout your life is very important because it gives you that little anchor whenever either you're blue or you're in a good mood.
Yes.
It gives you that little anchor. It is by your side, that like that little friend who is holding your hand and saying, "Come with me. I'll be there whenever you are, wherever you are."
Oh,
And it
yes,
transforms
is
your
like
mood
that.
too as well. But as a matter of fact, since, we wanted to talk about the film industry, and, I think it is in relation with music as well, because recently we have seen release of a film, I think indeed, the trailer of the film was even great, ladies and gentlemen. But other than that, what I felt was that, that there's this formula coping going on. So what happened was that before the release of that film, I'm talking about Perchi, we definitely had a song from RDB Sahara UK too as well. And the song
Became
was
a huge hit.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a huge hit earlier too as well. Do you think that it was good with the marketing, or do you think that we actually need some fresh ideas too as well?
I think what we need is something that clicks with the audience.
Okay. Right.
I think it's very important for the audience to be attracted to the cinema. It is something that is emerging in the last few years we've seen. But we have also seen that in 2017, there were not as many hits as there should have been. A lot of films, despite being good products, flopped. So what is the reason behind it? The reason behind it, in my point of view, is that people don't click with either the subject matter or the actors or some content in it that could be out of context for them. We as a society are basically looking for escapism at this moment. What I feel is most of the cinema that should come out at this moment should be fun, should be rom-coms, a lot of comedies. If you see Punjab Nahi Jaungi or Na Malum Afra, the two biggest hits
Right.
of last year were comedies or romantic comedies, as in Punjab Nahi Jaungi was concerned. And as in the case of Punjab Nahi Jaungi, it was a very strong content. Khalilur Rahman Kamar Saab wrote a very tight script.
He's a fabulous
And what a wonderful performance by everybody, especially by Humayun Saeed,
Exactly.
who immersed himself in the character. So what matters in the end is how strong is the script, how do people connect with that script,
Right.
and thirdly, how much do they enjoy being in those 3 hours in that cinema hall while they're watching that film, and the songs as well play a very important role. New singers have come out. You've seen in all these
I'm a
new
big-
films, so many new singers
Yeah.
have come out with new albums, with new songs for these films. February, Balu Mahi came out, Sahir Ali Bagga composed some brilliant music. There were new singers, and all of them were Pakistani, and it's very good and heartening to see good music coming out of Pakistani cinema after a very long time, and I think this trend needs to continue, and inshallah it will.
No, but I think what I wanted to ask over here was that, for example, you mentioned about Khalilur Rahman Sahab as well. He's a fabulous writer from Pyare Afzal till now as well, and even before that, and you know, all of these films. But as a matter of fact, you know, I had a chance to work with Mr. Khalilur Rahman as well, so he did all the scripting. Now, what happens is that, you know, when a writer of such stature, for example, Mr. Khalil, when he writes, he has this perfect picture of
what he wants his character to be like.
So then what happens is that, you know, when you start rehearsing that script, eventually Mr. Khalilur Rahman, I think at times tells you that, you know, okay, this is how it is written, and I think that's correct too, and you need to do justice with that.
With the way
but
he
as
has
a matter of fact, you know,
it.
for newer artists, I think what happens is that they forget who they were, and then they try to collaborate in between, and this does not work out quite a lot.
Really?
So how do you think that the director actually needs to settle in with such issues?
I think it's very important for any actor, whether it be you've acted in quite a number of serials in the past as well, Shehzad, for him to or her to immerse himself or herself in the character that is given to him or her. Forget that he is Shehzad Khan or any other person, and just be that person, like Mr. Khagga, Humayun Saeed became Khagga in Punjab Nahi Jaungi. You could not say that was Humayun Saeed during the whole course of the film. That is what a good actor is. A good actor is that when you watch him on the film, you forget that he's that actor. You just retain the character that he's playing during that film. And whether it be Khalilur Rahman Kamar's very strong depiction of male characters that he portrays, or the female characters that he portrays as well through his writing. And the actor or the actress needs to kind of imbibe what he's trying, the essence of what he's trying to say, and then put it out on screen and forget who she or he comes from, the milieu that he or she comes from, and just be either that middle-aged boy or girl or that high-class boy or girl that is being written for him or her in that serial. That is how you become a good actor or actress, and that is what needs to be also done in the films and in the television serials.
Right. So you were talking about music videos and everything. So in the past few movies which I have seen, that they've taken a trend from the Bollywood movies, that they've taken one particular item song. So it's always a hit and everything. So don't you think it's a good? Do you think it's a good idea? In my opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to have one.
You see, an item number. If we see
right now
the films, the only item number that we see that came out last year was from Na Malum Afraad 2.
Right.
All right, that the Sadaf Kamal number that a lot of people kind of
I liked it,
voiced their opinion. It was a very nice song, but as
the trend of